Good morning, students. Okay. Uh, we will move forward to third chapter from secretarial practice, which is known as formation of a company. This chapter is divided into four parts. The first one is stages in formation of a company. Second one is promotion, then incorporation of company and commencement of business. So today we will be doing two parts, that is stages in formation of a company and promotion, and in the next section we will be doing last two parts. So if you move forward to the introduction, that company, we know that company is an artificial legal person, which is creation of a law or which has its existence in the eyes of a law. And this company, it is registered under the Companies Act 2013 and it needs to follow the conditions or the principles or the rules and regulations which are laid down by the Act. The formation of company, it means registration of company or incorporation of company with register of company in the state where a company's registered office is to be located. Because company needs to mention his registered office when that procedure of formation is being carried out. So that company, he needs to mention his preliminary office or prime office or main office, you can say head office. So that company that needs to form its business in that state only. So now, based on the minimum number of promoters, we will be discussing what will be the possible types of the company. But first of all, who is a promoter? Because promoter means, I don't think you have heard this term before. Rather, you know about this term before in detail. Rather, you may not have any detailed knowledge about the term. So look at who is a promoter. So promoter is a person basically who undertakes the procedure of formation of company. So he can be a single person or he can be a group of person or any concerned partnership firm or any body corporate. So that promoter, basically these people, they carried out that preliminary process, that they carried out that formation of a company. And as per the Companies Act 2013, depending upon the number of promoters intending to form a company, so on that basis they have made the three types of company. The first one is public company, private company and one person company. We are going to learn about this in detail, but if you want to know just the basic things, that public company, they have in minimum seven members are required. That 7 members means those 7 promoters they are required for a public limited company. For a private limited company, 2 members means 2 promoters are required, and for one person company only 1 promoter is required. Again, based on the capital structure, which is the company which is registered under section 3 subsection 2. So there are basically 3 types under which company can be registered. That companies with share capital, companies with guarantee and company with unlimited liability. We have studied these things in detail earlier. That companies with shares, it means the capital of that company, it is divided into the small pieces and that one piece is known as a share. And those persons who are subscribing to those shares, they are known as shareholders. And their liability is up to the face value of that shares or up to the unpaid value of the shares they have subscribed. In case of company limited by guarantee, in this case, the number of members, they provide a guarantee for providing a certain sum of money at the winding up of the company. So their liability will be limited to the amount of the guarantee which they have undertaken. Unlimited liability company, it means there is no limitation on the liabilities. It means they have the unlimited liabilities. In case of prepayment of debts or the loans, their personal property, it can be sold off. As in the case of limited by shares, limited by guarantee, the unlimited liability company, they do not have any kind of the liabilities or they do not have any kind of limits for their liabilities. So as I said, in case of repayment of debts, their personal property, it can be sold off. So they won't say that, okay, we have purchased this much of things or we have invested or we have promised to pay certain sum, so now we are going to pay this sum only. No, in case of unlimited liability company, there is no limitations on the liability. So we have studied this in detail. So we will move forward to the first main point, that is stages in the formation of company. So basically there are three main stages. The first one is promotion, second one it is incorporation of company, and third one it is commencement of a business. So first we will start with the promotion, but before that we need to know certain things. Because Companies Act 2013, it has stated certain conditions for a company. As we discussed earlier, that company, it shall be formed for a lawful purpose. For a public company, minimum 7 promoters are required. For a private company, minimum 2 promoters are required. And for one person company, minimum 1 promoter is required. Again, all those promoters, they should subscribe their name to the memorandum of association. Then promoters, they should comply with the provisions of Companies Act 2013, means they should operate or they should behave in accordance with the Companies Act 2013 with respect of incorporation of company, because their main work is to do incorporation of company, their main work is to do a form of company. And if you don't know what is the memorandum of company, I think I have earlier told you that basically it is a document which states aims and objectives of a company. As we know that India has a constitution, so like every company, they has their own constitution, and that constitution, it describes aim of the company, objectives of a company. So that document, or you can say the constitution of company, it is known as a memorandum of association. So the first step which is there in formation of company, it is a promotion. The promotion of companies means taking all necessary steps to incorporate company in accordance with the provisions of Companies Act 2013. So what do you mean by promoting? Promoting means taking steps to incorporate a company, to form a company. Then who is going to do this job? The promoters, they will be doing this job. So now who is a promoter? So the promoter is a person who undertakes the process of promotion of a company. That person who takes all those efforts, who carries out all those procedures to form a company, that person is known as a promoter. And promoter can be an individual, he can be a partner, he can be a company, he can be an association of person, or any syndicate he can become. So there is no such limitation that he should be a natural person only. Syndicate means what? So I think we have we are known to this word, because you may have heard about this in any cinemas, because in lot of cinemas they mentioned about the syndicates and all that stuff. So what is syndicate? Syndicate, it is a group of individual, or it is a group of organization. They came together to promote a common purpose. So basically it is a group of individual or organizations. Section 2, subsection 69 of Companies Act 2013, it defines promoter as a person who has been named in a prospectus or is identified by a company in annual returns. So Companies Act 2013 says a person who is named in prospectus. So what is a prospectus? It is a very simple thing. Prospectus, it is a document which is issued by the public company to invite public to subscribe their shares at a time of public offer. So basically, as we know that public company, they invite public for subscribing their shares. So that document which is issued at a time of such subscription, such a public subscription, the document, it is known as a prospectus, and in that document that promoter's name should be present. Or in the annual returns of the company, annual returns means the financial statements which is prepared by the company. In that financial statement, everything it is recorded, like ownership of a company, activities, or a financial position of a company, or what is the condition, what is the profit, and that returns, they are filed with the ROC, that is registrar of company, and in that annual returns to that person's name it exists. So such a person whose name exists in a prospectus or his name exists in an annual return, he is a promoter. Again, who is a promoter according to Companies Act? The person who has a control over the affairs of the company. So he may have direct control, he may have indirect control, he may be controlling as a shareholder or as a director or otherwise. So person who basically controls the activities of the business, and again in whose accordance or with whose advice or direction or instruction the board of directors, they accustomed to act. So basically board of directors, they took the charge of the company after incorporation. So even after that taking over of charge, they act in accordance, they took the advice, they took a suggestions from a promoters for carrying on the business. Okay. So now what is the role of a promoters? And the promoters, basically these are the person who comes up with the idea of the business, because that person, he has that basic idea, he has that certain concept in the mind that how we are going to start a business or what type of business we will be doing. So he comes up with the idea. Again, that person decides the objects of the business, and he also decides on minimum amount of capital required or on what scale business is going to work. So all these things they are decided by the promoter. Again, the various documents which is required for incorporation, like memorandum of association, articles of association, they are also prepared by the they are also prepared by the promoters. Again, he approves the investors for capital requirement, means that every company they require a capital for formation purpose. So that is capital, it is collected from the investors, and promoter, he used to approach to those investors, probable investors, and he collects or he collects that capital for a company. Again, promoters, they often nominate themselves as a first director of a company and the first subscriber to the memorandum and articles of association, because they are taking all those possible efforts for a company. So they used to nominate themselves as the first director and first subscriber. Then the promoters, they can enter into the contract on behalf of a company, proposed company, not a company you can say. And such contracts, they are known as the preliminary contracts or pre-incorporation contracts, because these contracts, they are entered into the company before the formation of company itself. So that formation contract for formation of any memorandum or articles for hiring any office premises, these are the known as preliminary contracts, because every time it is not the case that all promoters they will sit together and they will form a memorandum. Major times they take what you can say professional advice, or they appoint a professional people, and we need to pay them certain sum of money. For that purpose, those promoters, they enter into the contract, and such contract they are known as preliminary contract. Again, the promoters, they have fiduciary duties towards the company which they are setting up, and they are supposed to act in such a manner that they have to protect and promote the interest of the proposed company. They cannot make any kind of secret profits, or they cannot malfunction. So while make formation of company, what is the fiduciary duties? It means they need to act in a good faith. Means they should be free from corruption or any bias. So they should be act in a good faith, and they should keep a trust on themselves. Means if they are acting in a group, then they should trust each other. Also, they have to disclose their personal interest if they have any. Means in any transaction, like if a company is making payment towards any person, or company is making investment in any property, and if certain promoter have interest in that property, he should disclose those things. And after incorporation, company, they compensate promoters by paying or by reimbursing all those expenses which is incurred by the promoters. That expense is known as preliminary expenses. And immediately after incorporation, board of directors, they took a charge over the company. Because obviously we know that they are mainly responsible for the management of the company. Now, what is the procedure, or what are the steps involved in promotion of the company? There are basically 5 steps which are involved in promotion of a company. The first one, it is they come up with the idea or a suggestion of a business activity. So the promoter, they always used to come up with a business activity or business idea which they wish to undertake, and they choose the business activity after studying the various factors, like what will be the scope of business, what is the competition in the market, what are the available factors of production, or what are the applicable laws which are regarding that business. And after studying all those factors, they decide that for what business we will be starting with, or what business it will be favorable for the conditions which are prevailing in the market. And based on all those things, they prepare a business plan that okay, this will be our plan. So if you are talking about the business plan, they used to prepare a financial plan, because the promoters, they decide on what scale that operation is going to run. Means either that company is going to operate on a large scale or on a small scale, and accordingly, because even though if you are working on a small scale or large scale, you need a funds, you need a finance. So on the basis of that scale of operation, they decide that financial plan, and financial plan that gives details about what will be the amount of capital required, or from what sources they will raise those capital. So accordingly, they started preparing for that funds, or they started making that financial plan. After making financial plan, the main work which is required in formation of company is the drafting of memorandum of association and articles of association. Majorly, promoters they prepare a memorandum of association and articles of association, which has to be submitted along with the application for incorporation of company with ROC. So major time they undertook this job by themselves, or they may take advice, or they may take help from many professionals. But they need to prepare these documents because they are very important documents for the formation of the company. The fourth one step which is involved in promotion is that they enter into the preliminary contracts. Means as I told you that they might take a professional advice, they might take a professional help, or they might take any property for official purpose, because that things they are necessary for formation of company, and for that purpose they might enter into the contract which is known as preliminary contract or pre-incorporation contracts. On behalf of the proposed company, promoter they can enter into the preliminary contracts with the third parties, and they enter into such contracts so that the company they can start off their business immediately after their incorporation. So because their main work is to form a company, so obviously they will take all those necessary steps which will help the company to start a business immediately after incorporation. Means it is not like that they will do the half work and half work it will be done by the managers, and they will be like, no, we have done these things and now we won't help you. It is not like that. They need to do A to Z things till the formation of company. So they will enter into the preliminary contracts, and we have studied these things earlier that while entering into the preliminary contracts, the liability, or those promoters they are individually liable, because at a formation of contract, that company it is not even in existence. So after existence of company, that company it can ratify the contract and it can make amendments in the contract, it can alter the contract, and after formation company he can say that company can say that okay, now I am liable for all those act, not a promoter. But that is a different part. And the last one is appoint the first director. So as I told you that major times those promoters they nominate themselves as the first director, or they nominate themselves as the first subscriber to the memorandum of association and articles of association. And even though they do not nominate themselves as a director, but their work is to appoint a first director. So maybe they will nominate themselves, or they will nominate some other person, but appointment of first director, it is their job, it is their work. Okay. So last two steps which are remaining, that is incorporation of company, and we know that and that commencement of a business. So mostly we will be doing these parts in the next lecture, because incorporation of company it is a big point, and if I started to explain it now, I think it will take a lot of time. So first of all, whatever we have done, just go through it, just read through it. Means just check that whether you are getting those things or not. And if you find any kind of difficulty, I already told you, you have my number, you can contact at any time. Okay. So we will move forward, or we will meet in the next lecture with the remaining part of the chapter. Okay. So till that, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and bye bye.